Hi, it's Jo and today I'm going to watching The Boys, Season 2, Episode 3, Over the Hills with the Swords of a Thousand Men. It's a very long title, is that what it's called? Over the Hill with the Swords. Yeah, that's right. Brilliant. This show is fantastic. You kind of have to get back into like the dark headspace going in. I'm not going to watch a fluffy show, but I am so stressed for these characters, but I'm also so excited to see where it goes next. I guess I'm ready to be creeped out by Homelander's very existence, but yeah, I absolutely love this show and I cannot wait to see where it goes next. So yeah, if you would like to watch the unedited version, that is up on my Patreon right now. If you watch this on YouTube, you can see the unedited version there, and you can also see the edited version. So the unedited version is there 2 weeks early, so after episode 5 was already up on my Patreon, and you can see episode 4 edited for YouTube a week early as well. If you want to check that out, you can also sponsor shows and do all the usual Patreon stuff that you can do on people's patrons. What are words? I often wonder, and this is what I do. So yeah, I am ready to get very stressed in this episode. Am I watching the right show?
Lost me bottle a little bit when I pumped you one.
Yes. Sort of progress for Butcher, I suppose.
Sorry?
Is he gonna punch him now? Because I don't know how effective that punch will be. Yeah, exactly. Oh, there is a lot of rage here.
I think if there's a way to screw this up, you'll find it.
I agree. That does go for all the boys, to be fair.
You don't think it compromises her allegiances?
Well, yeah, but no more so than he is, because he only acts for his wife, etc.
I'll neutralize her.
The compassion you show your team is truly touching.
Agreed. What would you do if it was your wife down there and we were trying to save her brother? Did he hear that? Did she hear as well? Yeah, she has not forgiven you and I'm with her. Big sister. She's still your big sister and still wants what's best for you, and becoming a radical terrorist is not best for you. You've taken care of each other. But you don't need to become a terrorist, sweetheart. She hasn't. Oh, Kimiko. This is breaking her heart because all she wanted to do was get back to him and to save him, but we can't trust that he's gone from like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fight my sister and go off and do a radical terror plot, to just promise I won't do it. So I don't think he's just gonna meekly sit there, like, especially now he kind of thinks that, okay, emotional appeals, yeah, to Kimiko, I'm gonna do anything. Oh, withdrawal symptoms or heart attack symptoms? Because yes, have a heart attack and die with no one here to save you, please do. Ugh.
Yes, please.
I hate him so much. Die. I despise you with every fibre of my being. It's despicable. Leave. Die.
Yeah, of course it's okay, right, Mom?
Child, stay strong. Do not resist the creepy man. I mean, do resist the creepy man, but don't, like, make him angry at you.
You look like shit.
He does. I like it.
Big night.
Suits him. You know, she actually cares.
Great work. Thank you so much. The script is a great start. Really
Start.
I just have
So is she doing this with the backing of Edgar and the up top people, or is she just like a loose cannon?
like Homelander. Really loves the script. Yes. So, oh, okay. Where is he?
He's off, intimidating, and continuing to abuse a rape victim of his.
Someone open this, please.
Does it get opened by someone manually seeing that someone needs to leave? I need to know more about Edgar. I don't like him. He's a shady capitalist piece of shit, but why did you come back to work here? I'm sure it's an amazing salary, but still. Oh, yes, of course. Oh, sweetheart, they could be watching you.
What did you do?
This.
This is kind of on you too.
Uh-huh. She doesn't care.
People who grew up with money.
There are still more important things. How much of that money have you used to benefit other people?
I heard the goldfish.
I don't care about you, rapist piece of shit. Please go and die elsewhere. A-Train has no right to try and be like, oh, you know, just because you have money. Like, yeah, it's true. If he was just an upstanding member of the Seven who had done everything he could to make the best out of the situation, even though Vought was corrupt and awful, that he was a good person, then I would be able to feel a bit bad for him. Like, the idea that he would go back to kind of having nothing, or that he would, you know, fall from his pedestal. But he's a murderer who literally does not care. He murdered his own girlfriend. He is a despicable person. So you can't guilt trip anyone by being like, you know, I grew up. Like, yeah, maybe that's a reason, but other people can grow up poor, get money, and not become sociopaths. You crying or laughing? I need to know more about Black Noir.
You did it. We did it. Call me back when you get a chance.
Oh, that's a dangerous voicemail to leave. Yes, good. I bet Butcher's not going to be happy. No? Is he not happy because he had nothing to do with it, or...
Now, we got a soup terrorist below deck, and shit can go sideways just like...
If you'd engineered this plan, you would be celebrating it at least a little bit. Come on.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
You did great.
Yeah, you did. Starlight did amazing. Butcher has good points. Like, I don't totally disagree with everything Butcher says, but it's how he says it. The sort of... It's a complete disregard for anyone else in the world.
Good job.
How high are they?
I love it. I promise.
You don't have to start by jumping off a building. You could get him to go from a smaller height and actually be encouraging and help him.
Dad, please.
We don't know if he can or not.
Don't make me jump.
Oh, he's gonna push you, he's gonna push you.
You called me Dad.
Because he's scared of you. He's appealing to you. God, he's already like an abuse. Yep. Oh God. See, he would genuinely, if he turns out to not be special, would rather have him be killed.
Because he's my son.
You pushed him off a building when he wasn't prepared. That's not going to make him feel safe to do it again.
I'm his father.
You don't get to say that after what you did.
What I did
Oh.
was give you a son. But you were raising.
Oh, this poor child. Is this going to get his laser eyes out? Or his strength to protect his mum? Yes, yes. Oh, God. Homelander's going to use this, but...
Good boy. You see? I told you.
Oh, sweet child.
Just like me, Ryan.
No, I'm not like you. I'm nothing like you. I fucking hate you.
Oh, oh.
Okay, I'm not angry.
Oh, this poor angel.
Ryan, this is a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Maybe he can become a good version of you, you piece of crap, and be the one that destroys you. It is a good thing, but let the kid be a kid. Just... Whew, my reactions to this show have just become me screaming at Homelander and despising his existence.
Just want to help her.
He does.
Will you teach me?
No, because his hands are bound. So that makes the fact that Kimiko tried to speak late last season,
I think your sister is very special.
even more important. She is.
And she loves you very much.
She does. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Get the cash for my braces, which he then blew at the $5 table.
Yep, a lot of scumbag parents.
This is what we've been waiting for. Owe them anything.
I'm so stressed that they're talking on the phone that they could get tracked and she'll get hurt.
If we do that,
Oh God. Oh God, he's gonna know she exists now. Please say he's too wrapped up in his own head.
It just seems like you're the only person I can lean on.
You don't have the right to lean on her.
I feel the same way.
Everyone around him has to just grovel and try and appease him. Oh my God, really?
A stranger is just a friend you ain't met yet.
Butcher's plans are just...
I ain't gonna fuck it up.
Fox almost toast. We're almost home.
Yep.
I ain't gonna fuck So there must be some kind of misunderstanding.
Oh my god. Oh. No. Oh my god.
Everyone is on their way here right now. We stay here, we die too.
Fuck. That is the difference between Huey and Butcher that he would want to try.
I wasn't the one who fucked that up.
You were, by stealing a boat and not letting anyone else be aware that you'd stolen a fucking boat. Butcher is really great. Like, he was always a little bit frustrating, but this season so far, he's even worse. Surrounded constantly by death.
Oh, you shoot a leader of the church. He sits in the first chair.
The cult. You're a rapist, you deserve a cult, but I'm stressed to see how they're going to bolster you.
Please be careful.
I will.
He hasn't been so far.
And thank God I found my second win because it's
Oh.
you. You're my second win.
That's very sweet, but is it going to get them in trouble somehow?
Look, I know it's exciting taking down Vought and...
You shouldn't be saying all this on phones that could get tracked.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
That was very, very sweet and lovely, and if she can hear it and delete it and no one else has to hear it, I'm very glad for it, but stress. They're all gonna die.
Well, we're all victims here, A-Train. But we'll get to the bottom.
Yeah, victims of being injected as babies.
This super terrorist is the villain.
Who
made us, or how we got here. The point is,
we are here.
we are here. Together.
And I can't keep tormenting my family. It doesn't want them to become his new family.
You are my real family.
Yeah, he's like, oh, he needs to die.
I come and go with talent. Talent is forever.
It's so funny. Such a reversal from where we were at the beginning of the season with these two. It was the world's most ineffectual superhero. Oh my god. Is there a whale or is that the deep? Oh my god. He's riding the whale! Oh crap, I'm stressed. Oh, gross! Actually repulsive. Oh, the whale's not dead yet. That's horrible. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, I did not need this image in my life. Now you care. Oh, Huey.
You know what? Okay, you guys go ahead. You guys go ahead. I'm good.
Oh.
What? Come on.
Oh, he does care, but this is why you can't treat people like crap.
What are you doing here?
Oh, he cares. He climbed back inside a whale for you. Yep. Doesn't care about himself, but he cares about the rest of them. You're covered in whale.
At each other's throats, and you keep pushing us.
Pushing. It's like right over the fucking finish line.
Yeah,
We need to keep our shit together a little bit.
the finish line is a way off.
You let your canary die? How you gonna know when you've gone too far?
Yeah. Plus, he has a connection inside a vault that is very helpful. I'm so stressed. Come on, Huey. Welcome to the 7. I'm so stressed.
I'm going to do everything in my power to renew my light. Not just for you, but for all the
Oh.
people that I've offended.
Yes, die, die, die. Die, please die, please die.
Yep. I just need a little rehab.
Is it his heart going, or does he have panic attacks thinking it's going to happen? Like, is it actually his heart or anxiety?
You will, A-Train.
Because it could have been any of them. Oh god. Oh god, she knew Homelander was there. Fuck, fuck, fuck.
Kill him.
Oh fuck.
Chicks, right, Huey? Oh, for God's sakes. Come on, it's easy.
Oh, this is a pivotal moment for everyone.
Just don't care.
You need to resign to it. Come on. Someone do something. Oh god, he's in such a bad place. You can take Homelander, please.
Cunt.
Oh, Butcher, this is what I wanted. You actually care.
Surprise!
And you're putting this ahead of...
Hey.
I'm so proud of Butcher right now. Please. Oh, Kimiko. Oh, see, he does care. He's just the world's worst person at showing it. I'm still cross with you. He accepted death in that moment. Oh, I'm stressed if they catch Kimiko.
Hey guys!
Damn it! Just attacking the civilians, my god. She is worse potentially than Homelander and people because she's just a psychopath, just a juster. Is she making it look like the terrorist killed loads of people? Run, Kimiko. Oh. At least there's now a female character I get to despise. She hasn't sexually assaulted anyone though, so I guess, you know, she hasn't reached that level, but she's also murdered innocents. Lots of innocents at this point, so yeah. She's up there with them. Oh my god. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Come on, someone do something. Yes, thank you, sweetheart. Please don't die. Oh my god.
Oh, can't do your magic little hand thingy anymore?
Oh my god.
Fucking yellow bastard.
I'm so sorry, Kimiko. He's like, my love. Someone as sadistic as me.
You snooze, you lose, Gramps.
Hmm.
This has been a very difficult day for the Vought family. Our focus now...
Oh, he hates it because Storm fronts the Golden Girl, which I think could be his plan all along.
We are conducting a led by former Vought employee, Madeline Stillwell.
Yep, blame the dead
But
bitch.
sadly,
And they're calling them a super terrorist and not a super villain. Oh, Kimiko, I'm so sorry. It was far too easy for things like this to actually pay off in episode 3. This was a better episode for you in the end, Butcher. She killed everyone. I really hope Kimiko gets to kill her one day. I'm sorry, sweetheart. It's so funny, someone else, like, my enemy hates my enemy, but my enemy is not my friend. That is not the way it works. The scariest thing will be if they ever team up. I love you. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Starts another brilliant episode of The Boys. I lost track of like how much time had passed, but halfway through I was thinking, oh, this is a slower episode, you know, just moving pieces, and then boom, the ending was not slow. So their plan worked to an extent. We got Compound V out there, people know about it now. Sure, Vought is covering that up. Vought is doing the classic thing of, oh, we knew nothing, we'll do an investigation. Oh, that person's conveniently dead, their fault. Which is very convenient, but that ball is rolling. If you can find more evidence like Edgar signed a file, or, you know, he had to know, like, hopefully the ball is rolling, the news is out there, so we can begin to get where we need to get with taking down Vought at some point in the history of this blooming program. But I'm really proud that they managed to do that, and that they had that moment of victory where both Starlight and Annie and then Frenchie and MM were able to just be happy that they had done something, their mission was working. And okay, yeah, Vought saved face, but they're dented a bit. That's still out there. We know that the supers know. A lot of them didn't know, and now they all know, and they're not all going to be totally okay with it. So that is a step. Now, Homelander, I am very glad that he's left his family, his abuse victims. I mean, it's been very clear that the little boy, while a part of him would be excited about having a father, his father was very scary. And I think a big part of him was just playing along with what he wanted so that he wouldn't be scary. But him standing up for his mum was everything. It just... They were right that they needed to make sure they raised this child in a stable environment where he had a loving mother. And to be honest, if it turns out like Homelander in the future tells him about the locked environment he's in, I could definitely see them being like, oh yeah, that was all part of the effort to make you not like that guy. I'm really sorry, kid, but like, you didn't want to be like him, right? And so him saying, I'm nothing like you, just yes to Ryan. I really hope for his sake he stays alive, and also stays hating his dad. And so we saw Homelander, hopefully he's not going to retain that information about Elena because stress, he will murder her, but hopefully he was too wrapped up in his own, poor me, my son who I shoved off a roof and hurt his mother, love me. So I'm glad that it's really sad to see everyone who interacts with him has to have that kind of abuse victim, like saying what he needs to hear, saying what he wants to hear to appease him and to make it so that he won't hurt them. And it's painful to watch, but it just, seeing him get put in his place was a little bit good. You know, he kind of had the moment of like winning over Edgar by being like, you're nothing, we're a family, but then even that family's falling apart a bit. But then Stormfront showing him up, being A, more ruthless than he's been in a while since the plane, and B, just getting all the attention and being the hero is not something that sits well with him. So as much as I despise everything that happened there, him getting one-upped is a little good. Maeve, I love that she now just has a relationship with Elena, that she's being honest with Elena, that they are just, that she's just let her guard down. And I think Starlight helped a little bit with that. Letting her guard down with her helped her be able to reach out. And I'm stressed for where they go in the future, but I'd really like to think that at some point we're going to have like the good characters versus the bad characters, and that would include Maeve and Starlight and all the boys, versus Stormfront and Homelander. I need to know more about Black Noir. I've said this every episode, I think, since he's been in it. Because he seemed upset or laughing. It was hard to tell, but I think he was upset. But we know nothing about him. We know he's been very content to do the Vought party line. But is he deep down seething with rage? I need to know more about him. So the Deep has fully joined the cult. I really don't care. I'm scared of the cult because cults in general are scary, and a cult of superheroes is very scary. I love that he even managed to mess up the mission in the ocean. Like, seriously, the terrorist being in the ocean is the one time the Deep's like needed, and he messed that up and the whale died. Oh, Lucy. I still despise the Deep. I'm glad that Starlight held him to account, and you know, that's the thing with Stormfront, is she's a new character that's come in, and she's just been kind of too openly anti-Vought to actually be really anti-Vought, or if she is really anti-Vought, then she's got something on them where she knows she's safe. Like, she's too much in that direction to just be a good person. So I'm sad but glad we got that confirmation. You know, she was just murdering left, right and centre. It wasn't even just a case of collateral damage, oops, it happened. She was outright intentionally killing more and more people, and I could definitely see that being why she was picked by Edgar, because she made that into a giant terrorist attack that they stopped, rather than a lot of collateral damage caused by superheroes trying to stop a bad guy. I definitely think she's a plant by Edgar. Now, whether she's going to continue to play to his tune on, I mean, we know he picked her, but you know what I mean. Like, whether she's going to continue to do what he wants, whether she is doing what he wants, or whether it's just kind of they happen to be aligning. He is another type of evil, Edgar, because he is the corporate evil. You know, he doesn't get his hands dirty personally, but he could not care less how many people die along the way. And it would be interesting if we ever have Stormfront going up against Homelander, but at the same time, I kind of feel like Homelander might end up siding with her, and that would be the worst thing ever. It would be hilarious if we ended up fighting on the same side as him, even temporarily. So then with the boys this episode, Butcher. I love him as a character, I always have, but he's always been that character that has teetered towards that complete self-interest, that complete, what I want needs me to do this, and I don't even care about them. Even though I care about them, I don't care about them. That makes sense. And so at the beginning of this episode, you know, he didn't tell them he stole the boat. He let them think that while they're on the boat, that wasn't a problem, and kind of he's still not being honest with them after everything they went through in season 1, everything they've been through so far this season. He's still not being honest with them about everything. And even his attempts to connect with Huey, for Butcher, their first apology was a good step, but it was still very disingenuous. It was, I'm sorry, well, I said that, all good now. You know, had Huey been in a better mental state, I think he might have been able to respond to that more than him being at his breaking point. But, oh. So then at the end, when Butcher, they could have just stayed really quiet, let Homelander kill Huey, and potentially kill Starlet too, or just get her to do it, and then prayed they went in a different direction and been safe, and not had to free the brother, whose name I'm not entirely sure what it is. But I love that he risked his own life, he risked the mission, he risked getting his wife back in order to save Huey. That is a huge step, that when it came down to it, he was able to pick the boys over his own personal mission. That is why I'm like, I don't have to write Butcher off. Yes, I can still like him. That was a very emotional moment, and at the end it was quite nice. Like, I think like the moment when he helped him up, like that was just, they do care about each other, and they're in an awful position and they're all desperate, and it's so easy when you kind of see a light at the end. Like, he never expected Becca would be at the end of this tunnel, be anything other than justice, and so now he thinks he can go and try and get her back and be safe and be with her. I can definitely understand why someone like Butcher would find it easier to just push aside anyone else's concerns, but I like that when he was repeatedly faced with like Huey being willing to just die, he was willing to just stay in that whale, strange sentence as that is, and just be killed. He couldn't care less. He could barely make himself walk. And when Annie was going to kill him, for that moment, he was happy that it was going to happen. No matter what, I definitely think he would have wanted her to kill him rather than be killed herself. But it was more than that. I think he was just, oh, it's all going to be over. This stress is going to be over, because, you know, I think he said last season that he doesn't know, oh god, I'm sorry what this bit of hair is doing. He said last season that he doesn't know how much more of this he can take, and he's constantly seeing death and destruction on, like, the helicopter got crashed, and even his sort of coping mechanism song didn't do anything for him. Huey's message to Annie was very sweet. I really love them together. Them and then Kimiko and Frenchie are both couples I root for, or in Elena and Maeve, but I don't know what their future is. And I think that the one thing that phone call shows is how what a low point Huey was at, what breaking point he was at. And I'm really glad he survived this episode, because there was that moment where I was like, okay, this show hasn't killed too many main characters. Like, it killed Stillwell, who was a main character, but for the most part, really bothering me, I'm sorry. For the most part, it's been quite, they've survived whatever they've been through. They've suffered horrifically, but they've survived. But him leaving that message for Annie, I was getting really stressed that, like, that was like kind of a way he might say like a goodbye, and then Butcher would have to live with the fact that he hadn't done enough to help him, etc. I was sort of at the real moment of like, this show, is it gonna go there? I'm so glad it didn't. And hopefully the boys as a team is going to be able to pull together more. Now for Kimiko and her brother, you know, hearing even more, because I was wondering, like, she doesn't seem to be deaf, but she seems to be mute, and so hearing that the trauma of the attack on their family, she just could not speak, she just stopped speaking, and that they developed their own form of communication, and they pulled each other through, and that she would steal food, he took the blame for her, like, she's been a big sister to him, but they were just a team who looked out for each other and helped each other. And I think this episode, not being able to get through to him, not being able to convince him that, yeah, like, Vought is bad, that's the part you hate, is Vought, and like the military, you don't hate ordinary Americans, you don't hate like people that, you don't hate most people in this country, even though a lot of the people in power suck. And I just, for her to then, that chase with Stormfront was just devastating, because I was really thinking that they might capture Kimiko, but to have her be forced to watch her brother suffer and die, at least they had moments together, at least, you know, he came back to save her, so she'll know that he loved her and that, like, he didn't hold everything against her. But just for Kimiko to lose that person that has been the only link to her old life, the thing that got her through her horrific new life, I'm so sad for her, and the one person she could properly communicate with, because unless she's able to snap through the trauma and speak again, I don't know, I'm not a psychologist, I don't know how these things work, I don't know if time or repeated trauma or just a connection with someone new would help her be able to speak again, as there's nothing physically stopping her, but that was just beyond devastating as an event. And they know Stormfront is a big bad. I'm really glad that they are fully aware that she is the worst. With Homelander equally, and then the Deep is like a slightly less level of the worst because he's so pathetic, but he's still the worst. And then A-Train is probably on the Deep's level. But I hope A-Train dies soon, because for Kimiko I'm absolutely devastated. And yeah, this was a really tough episode. Like, a lot of misery happened. There were some like bright moments, as in like Butcher actually reaching out to Huey, but for the most part it was pretty devastating, and I'm very stressed about what's going to happen next. I love this show. If you would like to watch the unedited version of this reaction, you can see it on my Patreon right now. And yeah, thank you so much for watching.